Hello everyone, my name is Rajinder Singh and I am an MBA graduate from LPU University of India. Um, I have around 5 years of experience in the field of import and export. So these are the basic strategy, global strategy for the purpose of import and exportation. Now, in global strategy, we have several type of entering a market globally. One is by exporting your product. The other one is by having a sort of licensing and franchising your products. I mean, you're franchising or licensing your company. And the other way is to go for the foreign direct investment. I mean, you have to establish your own company over there and have a direct presence in those markets. So today I'm going to discuss with you about the import and export. Okay, as I have experience in Mm, the sort of experience in import and exports, I can help you a little bit to get a clarity on how the export and imports are working in different countries. Now, as I told you, the first strategy to enter a market is by, let's say, exploring the market by exporting your products. For example, you are making a, let's say, a pen. Okay, you're making a pen and you have a market abroad for it. Uh, and as in, like, your domestic market has been saturated and you cannot, you know, there's no scope of growing in domestic market, so you're going for and so you're going for an a foreign market. Like, you will tap a global strategy for it. So with that thing in your mind, you go and speak to some buyers and some importers in different countries, and uh, you will discuss with them. There will be some terms of contracts. For example, if they want the pen and if they want a quantity of a pen, they will clearly mention in the contract, and you will have to abide by those contract with a particular price. Also is also involved in the contract, is also included in the contract, so that uh, you could do the process of export. So whenever you finalize the final price final price with your customer, uh, you're now in a deal with the buyer abroad, buyer who is living in, let's say, if I'm a seller from India selling the pen, the buyer is sitting, let's say, in Canada. So there will be a discussion between us, and there will be a discussion about the price, the quantity, the terms of payment, and after that, after agreeing to those uh, points, then we will go for implementing the contract, implementing the process of import and export. Okay, for me in India, is the process of export. For him in Canada would be the process of import. As simple as that. So sorry for the interruption. And, yeah, the process of so this is the first way of entering to uh, different countries' market is the way to export your product and uh, market your product using a partner who is sitting in abroad. And it has some advantages of it and it has some disadvantage. Let's say the advantage of exporting is is that you don't have the cost of, for example, cost of visiting the country or exploring, having a market survey, a deep market survey, and this kind of cost, and you don't have the labor cost so much in abroad. You may have labor costs in your own country, but not in the Canada. Uh, you are much more familiar with your own export rules and regulations. It seems much easier for the exporter to go for export process rather than having a position in those market and establishing your own company, which again you have your own labor, you have to employ people, you have to find some place for renting or find some place to buy or establish a factory. Search, you need to have a much more deeper research if you apply for the other process, other strategies. But on the other hand, if you go for, let's say, export, and I'm going to discuss about the disadvantage of it. The disadvantage could be that you have lack of knowledge about the market that you are the market that you're working in. You don't have so much of knowledge about the market. You don't know from where to start. If you start exporting and you don't know which area is the real hub for the product of pen, for example, or what are the target markets you could tap, which instead your importer is tapping it on behalf of you. So uh, you don't have so much of control over the market. You know what I'm trying to control and understanding about the market abroad. So this is the simplest way of tapping a foreign market by just exporting your product. Hope you understood what actually exporting means, and about one of the strategies which I've discussed was exporting. And in the other videos, I'm going to discuss about the other strategies. Then, after having an overview of all of these strategies, then we are going to get into much detail, much detail. Even we are going to have a discussion about certain factors that are involved um, in your decision making for having a sound business, for having a very lucrative business, for having a very risk-free business. I'm not saying that there are some risks that you have to incur, but there are some risks that we are incurring without, you know, actually we don't have the knowledge so much that we could uh, recover it accordingly. I mean, we could tap it accordingly. We could deal with it accordingly. So to remove those risks, uh, we can have detailed look over different aspects what we are going to have. So I hope you got something from what I tried to explain to you, and in the next videos I'm going to discuss about other strategies, and also details of how to start a business and tap different market. Thank you and have a nice day.